Bob Lauder, welcome to the show called Turned On to Tech.
Hi, Jeff. Happy to be here.
Glad you could join us. Interesting guy. I was telling the audience earlier in the show that you and your product have been featured on Dr. Phil, Time Magazine. You've been on CBS, ABC, Fox News, CNN. You've been on Good Morning America and the Today Show. My God, when do you have time to go fishing?
Oh, I don't have much time to go fishing these days unless it's fishing for child predators, and then we have plenty of time for that.
Yeah, that's Good. What you do best. So, mymobilewatchdog.com. Bob, where did the idea come from?
Well, the idea came from a law enforcement friend of mine came to me one day asking for some help on a case involving an 11-year-old girl, and I didn't know any of this kind of stuff was going on. And back in those days, law enforcement just didn't have the tools that they needed to interdict in situations where predators are coming after children on cell phones, and I helped them by building some technology. We called it Radar.
I remember Radar. We talked about that on I think I was on KFI back in the day. And
yep,
you were our
back
guest.
In the day.
So it was Radar. Now, there were how many convictions that were documented thanks to Radar of predators?
Well, we've documented about 400, and then we stopped counting. We estimate as many as 2,000 predators have been convicted, but 400 we've documented on a weekly and monthly basis for years.
Wow!
And of those, 100% of those that were caught were convicted.
That's great.
And 75% of those convicted never had any kind of criminal background of any kind prior to the conviction.
This new technology and this new lifestyle is bringing out criminals who ordinarily you wouldn't think of as a mugger or a robber or car thief or something like that. It's a whole different genre.
Yeah, today the ability to be anonymous is changing the criminal world and the criminal mind, and people are doing things that I don't think they normally would have done, but because they can sort of maintain this anonymity, it seems to empower them, unfortunately.
That's really scary, Bob.
Right, they can get away with it.
Yeah, well, that's the mindset. Bob, you told me earlier in the week about an 18-year-old high school student who was arrested for extorting child pornography. Tell me about that. That's scary.
Well, there's a new problem that's arisen today in the world of smartphones, and law enforcement calls it sextortion. You know, you've heard of sexting, where children will send each other, naked photographs of each other. They call that sexting. This is called sextortion, and it's been going on for a while.
How does it work?
We just had an arrest. How it works is that in this particular case, an 18-year-old recent high school graduate who was extorting pornography from some middle schoolers. And the way it's done normally is that a young boy will pretend to be a female and will text another young boy, and then we'll send a list of pictures of a female and say, do you like me? Do you want to meet me? So on and so forth. And then the next thing they do is they say, great, why don't you send me a picture? And as soon as the other child is tricked into sending inappropriate photograph, it's kind of a gotcha scenario. And then it's, if you don't send me more photographs or you don't give me money or whatever, I'll send the photograph to all your friends.
Oh, that's horrible.
These are kids, children.
Kids extorting kids. And of course, you do know that this behavior is learned from adults.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
On their own.
Yeah, we're the best teachers sometimes, and that's awful.
The worst teachers sometimes.
Yeah, thank you. So, Bob, the product is called mymobilewatchdog.com. Tell me what it does.
Well, what it does is it essentially was designed from the law enforcement application. So it monitors everything that happens on the phone, including application use and when you use it, and messages and phone logs and so forth and so on. And the parents have a wide variety of control over what applications the child can use, what time of days they can text, and so forth and so on, including tracking their location. And at the heart of the application, however, is the stranger danger feature, we call it, wherein if anyone the parent doesn't know and hasn't pre-approved as being in the child's life, if any one of those kind of people call, text, send a picture to their child, the parents receive in real time, within seconds, the same message on their phone.
Oh, that's great.
The teens, they can intervene
Yes,
immediately when a stranger comes into his life.
That's incredible. So what does it cost to use mymobilewatchdog.com?
It's less than $5 a month per family. So you can have as many kids on it as you need to. So it's a real bargain. And I might add that if there is a cyberbullying incident or something, you simply go on the application, you print off a report, you take it to the principal and or law enforcement, and that's the end of it.
And you said $4.95 a month that includes up to 3 kids.
That's correct.
Wow. What if a family has more than 3 kids?
So far, we haven't really worried about that too much. As long as someone has a registration, we usually just let them sign all the kids up.
Wow. And that's available at mymobilewatchdog.com. Now, you have an enterprise version that deals with Black Box Mobile for business. Tell me about that.
Well, Black Box Mobile kind of took the technology we developed for My Mobile Watchdog and extended it into the enterprise. And not only can we sort of allow the enterprise to restrict which kind of applications that are run, but we also do a lot of Sarbanes-Oxley type, archiving of messages and so forth.
Yeah, Sarbanes-Oxley is a law that requires businesses to maintain certain control over certain kinds of communications, emails, things like that.
Exactly. And what a lot of people don't know is that more than 50% of all applications in all app stores, including Apple and Google, they violate their permissions once they're on the device. And so Black Box Mobile is a deterrent against that kind of activity. You may have heard recently about the flashlight app on the Android that I just read today that they believe it may have had as many as 100 million downloads.
Yes,
and
I've seen
the application was stealing user data and selling it. So location data, contacts, and so forth.
And I actually tried it, and I thought, no, I don't like this, and I got rid of it.
It sounds so benign.
It sounds benign. It turns your device into a flashlight. It's good in the dark, but my God, 50%. And it was stealing all kinds of information.
Yeah, it already sold all your data, Jeff. It's too late.
Well, okay.
Sold it and sold it.
Sold it and folded, huh?
But, think about, when you think about a child's location data being stolen, isn't that a little scary?
No, that's a lot scary.
That's really scary.
I think people are getting tired of it. And anyway, Black Box Mobile is one of the applications we have. It's sort of a barrier to enterprises and small companies and medium-sized companies losing their company data to these Trojan apps.
Wow. Well, for the listening audience, you need to go to this website right away, mymobilewatchdog.com. If you have kids and they have smartphones, you need to do this. Does it work on tablets as well, Bob?
It does, actually. It absolutely does. Although I will say that it works much better on the Android system than the iPhone, and that has a lot to do with, Apple doesn't provide as many opportunities to integrate our type of product on their product. So we encourage parents to get Android devices and get My Mobile Watchdog, and that's the best way they can protect their kids.
Wow, what a great product.
It really is.
We really appreciate the time, and we'd like to have you come back down the road and talk to us some more.
Love to do that. You guys have a happy Easter to you and your audience.
Oh,
yes. And you too, to you and your family,
yes,
Bob.
And thank you for being here.
Indeed. And I'll get you a copy of the interview over the weekend. I'll try to get it to you tomorrow. Good job. It's like you do this all the time. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Bob.